Moneyball, the way to run your football club to try and challenge with the big boys with not a lot of money and purely based off statistical data. It's a concept that is being used more and more in football these days. After the film, everyone sort of knows about it from the baseball team back in the 80s, and now it's becoming a thing with Toulouse have actually adopted the Moneyball approach in real life. You may have seen in the Premier League, Brentford running a fairly similar way of doing things as well. And today, I'm going to show you guys how you can do your saves in FM23 like a Moneyball save, and also a 5-year rebuild with Toulouse using the Moneyball methods to show you it actually works. What's going on there, guys? Kempy here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another FM23 rebuild slash, I guess, an FM23 tips video. So it's my first time trying to really explain something on FM in a certain kind of way, and it's the Moneyball approach. It's an approach that I love in football, and I think it's a really good thing that it's coming into the game. It's a lot more analytical based. It's stats, it's average rating, it's XG, it's XA, it's everything. And we're going to go through all of that today and how we have rebuilt Toulouse in 5 years to an unbelievable point. And you're going to be shocked as to where we got them, because if we just quickly skip over to FM, Toulouse in this year's save predicted to come 14th. Now, I've done season number 1 and we've come 9th, but Toulouse, the whole story around Toulouse is unbelievable, and we're going to go through that very, very shortly. Just back to the face cam. I mean, thank you guys so much for the support recently. We're up to nearly 1,000 subs, and it absolutely blows my mind. So if this is your first time stumbling across the channel, just smash subscribe. It helps me out massively. And the tactic video we released on Monday was unbelievable as well. And that's the tactic we'll be using today in the rebuild. So if you haven't seen that, go and watch that. Subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 1K, and the goal is 1K in May. So make my dreams come true. Hit the subscribe button. It's completely free to do so, and it helps me out massively. And also follow me on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter and Instagram, and obviously on Sortitoutsi as well. I'm now over there on YouTube as well, so head over there and sub there, and just smash the support you've been doing, because it's unbelievable. If we can hit sort of 25-30 likes on this one, it's a big ask, but I think this video, I'm going to explain everything, and you're going to love it by the end of it, and you're going to be playing Moneyball on your saves. So without further ado, let me show you the formation we've used with Toulouse, and then I'll get a little bit of history up about where they are in real life, and then we'll go into the rebuild. So the tactic we will be using for today's video is this 3-back asymmetrical madness. I don't even know what you'd call this format. Is it a 3-5-2? Is it a 3-2-3-1-1? Is it a 3-2... I don't know, but it's fantastic, and it's created by my good friend Sam as well, so massive props to Sam for finding this unbelievable tactic. Starting off, it's a sweeper keeper in goal on attack. It's a wide centre-back on the right with stay wider. It's a ball-playing defender in the middle, no further instructions, and then a centre-back on the left with stay wider. Also, an inverted wing-back on the left on support, get further forward. A DM in defend just in front will take fewer risks. A box-to-box midfielder, stay wider. A Metzala on attack, no further instructions. An inverted winger on attack with roam from position and sit narrower. An inside forward on attack, sit narrower. And then you've got Teach Delinga up front, advanced forward on attack, dribble more, roam from position. It's a balanced mentality, which is why it will work with Toulouse. It's in possession, it's shorter passing, play out defence, low crosses, be more expressive, and a slightly higher tempo. In transition, it's take short kicks, distribute to the centre-backs and the full-backs, counter and counter-press. And out of possession, it's a high press, it's a standard defensive line. You're pressing the ball as much as you can, prevent the short goal distribution, and get stuck in. And you know what? For a Moneyball save, I think a tactic like this, which already you're sort of breaking the half spaces, you're putting players, you're free roaming, you're everywhere, is perfect. And that is why I chose this week to not only release this tactic, but to do a Moneyball rebuild as well, and to explain the Moneyball approach. Now, I've done a little bit of research, and I've watched the Zealand video, and Zealand's view from last year on FM still works in this year, and I've edited it slightly to how I would sort of look at it in a less not over the top way, but a less way. So I'll go through that as well, but just a little bit of history on how they are surviving at the moment, operating with a small budget and no star player. Toulouse have found a way to survive in the French league. All started in July 2020 with an American investment firm, Redbird Capital Partners, acquired a majority stake in Toulouse and appointed Damien Camoli as president. And this guy, mind-blowing. We work with companies that provide us with data, and then we have statisticians, our own software, our own algorithms, which help us in all the decisions we make and our management of the club. The compilation and interpretation of the data has helped Toulouse find value in a tough market. Toulouse had a budget of 40 million euros for this season compared to 700 million with PSG. and 250 million euros for Marseille. Only Auxerre, Clermont, and Ajaccio have a smaller budget than Toulouse. So they are working on absolute strings. And like we said on FM, predicted to come into 14th. First season when this tactic, we plugged it in. We've come 9th and we're quite clear of the bottom half. They've already got some players in real life that were signed using this method. I mean, Branko van Boomen was sitting in the second division of Holland. He'd come in, £300,000. He absolutely smashed it in real life, and he's smashed it in the first year of this save as well. 7 goals and 8 assists. Tish Dalinga, again, was signed from the second division of Dutch football. He scored 32 goals in that season. That's what you're looking for. It doesn't matter what division they're playing in. The XG is right. The goals they're scoring is right. You get him in. 8 goals and 2 assists. I believe there's another few other guys they've signed as well. I think Ollie Zanden might have been one from Sweden, possibly. Or was that me? No, I haven't done any signings yet, so Ollie Zander might have been another one as well that springs into my mind. Let me just make sure I've got all the right transfer bits set up, and I'll show you guys how you can find bargains like this. So straight away, this might look absolutely wild. There is a lot of numbers on your screen, but to be honest, there's only a few I was looking at when going through this whole rebuild. Obviously, I didn't have the time to do a full in-depth madness when it comes to doing the transfers here. It's a rebuild that I made in like a day and a half. So if I was doing an actual save, there's a few things I would change. I mean, personally, I have got on the fact that I can see their stats. For more realism, turn that off. I've got it so you can literally, like, I don't have to scout. I can just see what this guy's stats are. I mean, I don't really go based off stats on this. I mean, sort of based on pace a little bit if I'm looking for him behind striker, but that helped me out a little bit when it comes to finding players, but not massively. I mean, what I did to start off with was go into my squad. Now, this is with the brand new signings in, but Rivaldo Kurtze is a centre-back I did end up signing on. This guy was over in South Africa last season on a 7.84 average rating. I saw his stats were decent enough. He had the holy trinity of defending: 12 heading, 14 marking, 10 tackling. He's 5'10", so he's short and he's quick. So as a wide centre-back, he'd be fantastic. He can play in midfield, he can play in DM. He's determined, his positioning is very good. And I looked in depth at his stats last year, which I don't think I can do anymore too badly. We can sort of see it. I mean, his average rating, like I said, was 7.57 overall. Defensive-wise, it was quite difficult to work out the stats fully. There's stats you can go into, but like I said, I didn't go absolutely mental with this. I mean, you can, and it's fantastic, and you'll find some absolute bargains. But what I done to start things off is I loaded up the Zealand Moneyball V1, and I just chopped away some of the lines that I didn't want, some of the columns that I didn't think were that relevant. I mean, shots per 90, I kept it on there, but you could take that off if you don't really care about that. I mean, one thing you're looking for, so say if you're looking for a striker, I set appearances to minimum of a 30 appearances and average rating to at least a 7. Now that ensures that you're finding players that have had a good season and have actually played a lot of games as well. Then we're going to go over and find strikers. Again, I was looking at 21 years old, just at this particular point, not all the way around. But we're going to set it 2 strikers, 30 appearances, 7 rating at least, and we're going to sort it by the average rating. Now, you can see you've got goals in here, you've got goals per 90, and you've also got XG. So if you're looking at the goals, this man scored 24 goals at a 14.93 XG. So he massively outscored his XG, 43 appearances, good shots per 90, good shot percentage as well at 57%. And that's what I would look at a striker. He's over in the Spanish, I mean, where even is that? Spanish, probably amateur league. So for me, I wouldn't have gone for him. He's too low down. He is scoring lots of goals and he's outperforming at that level, but it's probably too big of a jump to come to your level. So you're going to sort this by club. You can see, I can now see the club, and there's a few bits missing, but we can see the average rating, we can see the club, we can see the goals they've scored, and we can see their XG. Now that is the columns we are looking at. So looking how here for a club, so Al Ain, a decent club over in, I believe they're in Qatar. This guy's actually a 4-star advanced forward, so a 7.7 rating, 26 goals in just a 12.2 XG, 33 appearances, 33 starts, looks very good. 31 years of age, probably why I didn't end up going for him, but he's outperforming his XG massively. He had an absolutely fantastic season over in the UAE, not in Qatar, apologies. So that's what you're looking at, and your scout wouldn't find him. You'd never know who Kodjo Laba is. You'd never have found him. Simply you found him because you know that he can outscore his XG. I mean, I can obviously see the fact that he's 4-star and he's got decent pace, etc. But you're looking at a big club, Al Ain, you know he's going to be decent. He's played 33 games, 7.7 XG with that goals per XG. he's done very, very well. I mean, if we're looking down this list, there's a lot of lower down clubs, as there will be, because there's players that are outperforming in the Spanish fourth tiers, etc. I have got it to scout the whole entire world. Let's just scroll down until we find someone. So you got Odi Nagalo. I mean, 16 goals, 14 XG, 7.46 rating. He had a very good season. Again, scouts wouldn't find him. He's a 3.5-star player for Toulouse. Decent finishing, flair, good acceleration and pace. You'd scout him to find out his little bits and bobs. But again, we've had another striker there. Two older strikers, but two strikers nonetheless. Scrolling down. Okay, so I think I found someone. You've probably just seen a speed up of me scrolling through endlessly on this list, and I found John Batista. Now, this guy's at Eibar. Did he play it all in the League 2? He did. So the second tier of Spain, 14 goals, 1 assist, 3 player matches, a 7.04 average rating, so just above that 7 mark. Had quite a decent season, XG of 16, scoring 15. Stats-wise, sorry, my voice is all over the place today. Stats-wise, he's done quite well. Good finishing, acceleration, pace. He's actually very, very well rounded. 5'11". He looks decent. I mean, he's played his career down in the lower leagues of Spain. He's now just absolutely dominated in the second tier of Spain, and maybe it's time for him to step up to League 1. So that is a sort of striker I would be looking at. For goalkeepers, there is all of these bits over here. If you just scroll to the other side, you've got conceded per 90, clean sheets, expected save percentages, tackles 1 per 90 if you're looking at defenders for your passing and your creation. If you're looking at the midfielders in there, you've got dribbles if you're looking at wingers, you've got shots percentage. There's so many stats in here, and all you've got to do is download this view, and you can literally spend, I just spent 5 minutes scrolling down the list of fourth tier Spanish strikers to try and find a striker. I mean, does Baldini look any good? He looks quite good, to be fair to him. Again, just a random find. He's on the list. An average of 7, 14 XG, 13 goals, 27 years of age, from Morocco. Mohamed Baldini, done very well again in the second tier of Spanish football. Before that, was basically playing, had a season in Fuenlabrada in the League 2 and got relegated with them. Been over in Portugal, Morocco. Now he's had a very good season in Spain. Is ready for the step up into your team. So that's the sort of players you're looking at. And let me show you the transfers we actually made and the way I put this into our save. So Omar Bertel, a left wing back, we did end up signing. This guy is a left wing back. He was at Millonarios last season, a 7.04 average rating. We've signed him this season. He's got some decent stats. He's 5'9". He can play as an inverted wing back, which is what drew me to him. It's quite a difficult position to play in, but he's got the dribbling, he's got the first touch, he's got the passing ability, which I really, really liked. He doesn't like big matches, which is a little bit of a shame, but he was an absolute bargain at £700,000. Good pace, good acceleration, decent mental stats as well, and an absolute bargain at 300k. You can't really go wrong when you're signing players for that much money. Rivaldo Kurtze, we have shown you already, the very quick centre-back. He was signed for £400,000 from South Africa. Sundowns FC, it might get a little bit of knowledge based the more you do this on bigger clubs and the bigger, smaller nations. I mean, South African League isn't the most known nation, but Sundowns, very good size. Got 27 appearances for South Africa. Scouts would have never found him. I'd have never found him. And what did I do? I found him. He's injury prone, but he's very, very consistent, which I do like. He's determined. He loves to dive into a challenge as well. Juan Soriano, a goalkeeper we found from the second tier of Spanish football. There's a lot going on in the second tier of Spanish football. 31 goals conceded in just 42 games with 19 clean sheets. 7.08 average rating as Tenerife ended up. Did they win the league? I believe they won the league. He ended up winning the league with Tenerife, so we've done very well with them. He's now moved to the first tier of France for £2 million. A very good goalkeeper, 25 years of age, very consistent, determined, reflexes are good handling, etc. But again, we signed him based on the fact that his average rating was good enough, his saves was good enough, and his clean sheets were good as well. Tito, a young right midfielder that we have brought in from Tenerife. Again, they had a very good season, so we've poached a few of their players. 10 assists from there. As an inverted winger, he's going to play on this side of things, and he looks very good at it as well. He's got some decent stats. He's only 21 years of age, so he's got room to grow into that potential. So he was another one we managed to find. Magius Lejowski doesn't actually turn out very good. We signed him as a DM, as a backup, so this is where it can go wrong. I got a little bit baited. I saw that he's playing for Pogoń in the first tier of Polish football. Looked at his stats, I was like, wow, 7.38 average rating. Didn't clock the fact that he wasn't playing for their first team. So that signing, you can get a little baited, so you've got to be careful. But I'm going to show you when it goes wrong as well. He doesn't really progress at all. We paid quite a lot of money for him. and we got bitten, and that can happen. And Jose Corpas is the last signing we made, another right midfielder that's going to battle with Tito. He's 31 years of age, but he had a very good season at Eibar, again in the second tier of Spanish football, with a 7.14 average rating. So thought we'll bring him in and we'll see what he can do. And the team is now looking a little bit like this. I'm not going to go through the names of everyone because people won't know who everyone is. The only player that I'm going to point out is this absolute demon, Fares Shaibi. Is a very good centre mid who's already at the club. He come from FC Lyon. He was signed 3 or 4 years ago, so it's not like they've found a diamond in the rough with him, but he looks fantastic, really good potential, good value already as well, and we're going to lock him in that Mazzala role and see what he can do in this system. Now, it's time we get a little bit simming. We're going to go forward. I'm going to keep going through the transfers we do end up making, but I want to make this video a decent sized video for you guys to sit down and learn the Moneyball approach with me. So let's go forward to the end of season number 2 and I'll show you how we got on. And from one transfer window of signing players that are from the depths of football, the second tier of Spain, from South Africa, from all over the place, we've come second in Ligue 1. I mean, honestly, I was gobsmacked when doing this simulation at how well the Moneyball approach worked, and this is only season number 2, so make sure to stick around to see where we end up at season number 5. We'll get there when we get there. It's fantastic. I mean, the player's actually done very well as well. So Tito, who we signed, you know, his stats didn't look outrageous. He looked like a decent player. He looked like a Spanish second tier player. Well, last season he had a 7.04 average rating. He's come in to Ligue 1 this season, £2.4 million, and he got a 7.31 average rating, 32 appearances, 8 goals and 9 assists. I mean, you can tell, I honestly have got no idea how this actually works, but finding players in the depths of the darkness and bringing them in to big teams seems to work quite well. I mean, Tij de Linga, 15 goals at 9 assists in 31 games. Obviously, he is a real-life Moneyball signing from there. Rivaldo Kurtzay, our player, 27 games and 2 assists from centre-back. Again, over a 7 average rating. Branko van der Boomen, over a 7 average rating. They're the signings we made and that have been made by already. Corpas only played 13 games for us, but got over a 7 rating. Juan Soriano, first season in top flight French football, 35 appearances, a 6.94, which in my opinion is quite a good season for a goalkeeper. Going down to Omar Bertel, a 6.82. Maybe it didn't work out. A new left wing back potentially on the cards. And Matthias Lejowski, again, it certainly didn't work. Well, we said that wouldn't work. Render did okay as well. And Bagral, when he played, did very, very well. I mean, Chaibi as well, 22 games, 6 goals and 8 assists overall. He was very, very good in that centre mid role. And how I'm now going to go about the transfers is say, right, so Tito, Delinga, Chaibi, Rouleau, Brumnovic, you've all got to stay. I mean, the players that have done over a 7 rating, they're staying on the side. They're clearly good enough to play at this level on a consistent basis. But going down to Bertel, he can't stay. Nicolaisen can't stay. Soriano, a 6.94 for a goalkeeper, is probably good enough. We're looking at better backups. These guys are probably not going to ever make it at the club, so they can go. And now the rebuild starts again for season number 3. Let me show you the transfers we made and show you the gaps we filled using the method of Moneyball. If you guys are enjoying this video, like I said always, just make sure to like the video and subscribe. And I really want to hit 1k in May. It will make a massive difference. And, you know, I'm absolutely so excited to be nearly there, and it's an absolute dream come true. So if you guys can, make sure just to smash that subscribe button, like the video, share this around to all your friends as well, because the Moneyball approach is good fun, and you should be trying it as well. Now, in this season with transfers, we got a little bit of money for coming second in the league. Last season, right at the end, we also signed Nathaniel Nwosu as well. I mean, you guys know this guy from the Zealand videos. He had a fantastic season over in Nigeria, a 7.97. So he come in for £9,000. We loaned him back out. We'll see. He didn't play the rest of, I think their season doesn't play in the section that he was back on loan there, which a little bit pointless. But he's going to be just in the club. He's just a guy I like signing because his potential was so good. And we actually ended up spending a little bit of money this summer. And first of all is Zeki Almundi. Now this guy was a striker over in Switzerland on loan at Basel from Lucerne. He had 2 very good seasons back to back, and last season breaking over that 7.09 average rating, which is why he come up on our little scout search. 17 goals scored, 6 assists, 5 player of the matches, and he was a £12.5 million. A little bit more of a pricey one, but he's already got the value. He's 6'1", he's from Switzerland, he's bagging goals for his country as well, and he is going to be our striker. 16 dribbling, good finishing as well, good first touch, good decisions off the ball, technique, work rate, acceleration, pace, very good, comes deep as well, and places his shots, which I do really like in my strikers. So you might have thought, Delinga, why on earth have you replaced him? I mean, Dalinga's fantastic, but we do need to also upgrade as we go as well. I'm sure they're going to battle for that position, and both of them are going to get lots and lots of goals. And we're going to have as many goals as we do now in the Champions League, games as we do in the Champions League. We're going to need someone like him. Inigo Vicente, a very good season. Second tier of Spanish football again. 10 goals, 9 assists, a 7.16 average rating after having a very good season before that as well. He's been brought in for £5 million from Racing Santander, 26 years old. Got very good stats. He's going to be playing on this left-hand side for us. So excited to get him in as well. He also looks very good. He's going to be battling with, I believe his name is, where is he? The other guy we had. Maybe we sold him. I need to look at the sales. Who have we sold? We sold £37 million worth of players. That's why I recorded this. Well, I simmed it about a week ago. Anthony Rouleau. I mean, that is the one thing with Moneyball. This guy come through the academy. But when they have such a good season, they will get poached by big players. And £17 million, he went to Arsenal. I mean, he was a 4.5-star player. And, you know, it is about making money. It's about making profit. I mean, you can see after the transfers, the money is pretty outrageous. It's going to grow, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow. I mean, I can't believe I didn't show you this either. Dalinga left. That's why we signed a new striker. I'm all over the place, all right, lads? I'm sorry. A 7.26 average rating. Bayer Leverkusen for the other piece of that, £15 million. He's now got a value of 18, but done very well for us. He was brought in for 2.2 million, and in 2 years' time, £13.2 million profit. So happy with that. Good for the club, and that is what it's about. It's about finding them young players and moving them on at the right moments. Dalinga might not have had such a good season this season. He might never have made it, so that's why we've got so much money to spend. Sorry, confusion over. We're done now. Felipe Rovas is deciding we have made to replace Anthony Rouleau. I'm there. I'm back in the groove. £4.4 million, 2 back-to-back 7 average rating seasons for him over in Portugal for PTM Portimao. So a very good side, but again, 18 heading, 13 marking, 14 tackling, great jump and reach, pace, strength, work rate, determination. That's what I'm looking for in a centre-back, and he ticks all them boxes. Angel Alcaron from the Barcelona B side, another decent season, the 7.08. We decided to go with a little young prospect as our left wing, as a backup to the other guy we signed. And he's looking very good as well. 16 flair, acceleration, dribbling, pace, finishing. He's looking all there. The reason I got confused, the guy who played up front, I'm really confused. I need to stop dithering. Right. Jamal Tabidze is a Georgian centre-back from Dynamo Tbilisi, and I believe that's the guy that RDF works for, actually. Is that the guy RDF works for? RDF! Do you know this guy? Jamal Tabidze, very good centre-back. Georgian, 28 years of age, 18 caps for Georgia so far. Very consistent performer. Runs through the centre with the ball, heading, marking, tackling, positioning. It's all there, and he's been signed for just £1 million. So Jamal is in as well as another centre-back. Gustavinho is a young Brazilian we have signed. Had a decent season last season at 7.23. He's been brought in. I'm not sure he's going to make it with his potential, but we shall see. And another signing is a free contract. I know, absolute bargain. 7.64 last season over in Tunisia at AS Tunis, who have been relegated from the Tunisian First League. But he looks fantastic, and his stats are outrageous. 41 caps for Tunisia already, 4 goals. He's consistent. He loves a big match. And again, I wouldn't have found this guy if I wasn't using the Moneyball method. And Mohamed Ali Ben Ramadani is in that midfield role, which means the squad, I can now go there and it can make sense. It's now looking like this. It's Soriano, Kurtzi, Tabidze, Relvas, Spearings, Bertel, Ben Ramadani, Chabi, Tito Vicente and Amdouni up top. And we're looking strong and we are getting better, but you might look at the average ratings. Bertel is still in. I couldn't find a better left back, and to be honest, I think Zenden actually plays a lot more this season. He's a guy from the Elfsborg that was signed in real life a couple of years ago. And I mean, we are slowly progressing and getting better and better. So it's interesting to see how we're going to do this season. Last season, we come in the 9th round of the Coupe de France as well. I didn't show you guys that, and I do apologise. But we've got the Trophy of Champions. We're in the Champions League. We've got the Coupe de France. We've got the League. What can we win? Can we win anything? I mean, a trophy in this would be fantastic. Let's go forward to the end of season number 3 and find out if we can bring some silverware home to Moneyball FC. Right, well, I would argue the Champions League come maybe a year or two too early. We come 32nd out of 36. So, Champions League was a difficult run in, possibly a step too far, which is maybe to be expected. But we got the Champions League again, 57 points, so certainly a little bit of a drop up. We had Obviously, a lot more games to play this season with the Champions League coming in. So the squad's got a little bit bigger. You can see the drop-off we had when them games probably started to go and then the league phase finished. And we settled in to 4th position at the end of the season. Runners up in the Trophy Champ, which means we lost to PSG 4-2. 11th rounded by Montpellier in the Coupe de France. A little bit disappointing. Would have liked to have done better. But the Ligue 1, we still done quite well. Date type-wise, I didn't show you either last time, so I do apologise. But we're just above the average in there. And in terms of the players at the club that done very well, Logan Costa, who are you? You must have been at the club already. Are you at the club already? You are at the club already. Has done very well. I mean, did he play? He played 40 games. Logan, absolute baller, apparently. Zeki Amundi, the signing we made up front, 14 goals in Ligue 1. Very, very impressive. Chaibi, 8 goals, 6 assists. Tito, 10 assists this season. Again, over a 7 average rating. And this is probably my proudest find. I mean, from nowhere in Spain to now doing very well in Ligue 1. I'm hoping he gets some Spanish caps along the way as well. Mohamed Ali Ben Ramadani as well with 10 assists and 4 goals. A free contract, and what a free contract that was as well. A 6.95 average rating. Relvas on 6.93. Kurtze on a 6.87, so maybe dropping down a little bit. And Soriano a 6.85 as well. I mean, this season conceding 66 goals in 43 games, so maybe it's time to replace him. We've got £30 million in the bank. The money is looking good. I mean, the Moneyball approach gets you so far. So, I mean, we're going to just sit here and rack this balance up. And at the end of it, we're going to have some money in the bank. At the end of season 5, we're going to be breaded. So if you guys want to pick this up and you want to abolish the Moneyball approach, feel free. But you might not need to because, like I said, things are going to get even better. So make sure to stay tuned. Season number 3, then, the transfers for this, we're going to have to spend a little bit of money, £30 million. We need to get more players into the squad that are better for the backups as well. So let's go ahead and do that right now. First of all, I want to say an absolute thank you and goodbye to Branko van der Boom. We sold him for about £5 million, which he was unhappy at the game time. Only 23 games he got last season. To be honest, only a 6.73. So it ended up falling off for Branko, but he has left the club. And the transfers look wild because it also has last season in it as well. So you're going to have to bear with me as I go through and find the players we signed. Brian Brobry has come in. He had a fantastic season at Ajax and was only 12.25 million. And as well as, I mean, having a good season in Eredivisie is good. With Ajax is good. 7.14 rating is very good. And Brian Brobry is going to get kicking underway in the top division of France now. He's a Champions League player in France. It might look like an upgrade, Ajax to Toulouse, at this current day. But when we're getting Champions League football back-to-back in France, it is certainly an upgrade. We've found a very, very good player here. He's got some fantastic stats, some good finishing. I mean, we all know who he is, but he's a fantastic player and a very good signing as well. Bosco Satalo, again, people know who he is, but when he's pulling up performances like this in Croatia of a 7.29 average rating, £10 million we put on the table for him, and he has signed. He's a perfect wide centre-back because he can also play in full-back as well. So he's got the dribbling, the passing, the crossing's decent enough. He's very consistent, just 25 years of age, and starting to break in to the Croatian national team as well. Who else we got in here? We've got Benjamin Diallo, who has come in. He's a young Ghanaian midfielder. We decided to sign him and tried to find a bargain. It didn't work very well. It cannot work. But he was only a free contract, so it's not the end of the world. We've got Thomas Belmonte has come in. A midfielder has been signed from Argentina with Lanús. 7.28 average rating the last season. 7.23 before that. 7.07 before that. So he's getting better and better and better. And it's now time for him to see if he can do it over in France as well. Just £5.5 million value already of 15. Fantastic stats. He's 27 years of age, but he looks brilliant. And I really like the signing of Belmont. Next signing up we're going to see for this season is some free transfers, I believe. I think it's just these guys. So it's Mislav Mitrovic, again, a signing that maybe isn't going to work out in terms of potential. Not the best potential on him. Jordan Bird, the best. Not the best potential on him. Trying to find young wonder kids with it is much more difficult, I will give you that. And Adam Wilson Gomez, again, not got the best potential with him, but we'll see if any of them grow into anything. They had good seasons at their clubs, and it was only right to try and bring them in. So a few signs this season to try and progress us to that next level, and I think you'll agree the team looks a little bit better, especially in terms of the average rating and in terms of the star abilities as well now. Brian Brobby, Amundi's gone out to left wing. Ramadani, Chaibi, Tito, Zandon, Belmonte, Rovas, Costa, Satalo and Soriano. And we've got a much more in-depth squad here as well now. And there's also a very good youth system here at Toulouse. I mean, Jean-Luc Conan had a 7 rating in the youth team last season, so he's been brought up to see if he can do anything this season. We've also got Matthew Jonkep, 5-star striker through the Toulouse Youth Academy. Again, looks very, very good. Nathan Skitter is here already in real life, but has got some decent potential. He's been around. He was signed back in 2019 from the Finnish club of Ilves, and he's been ticking around in the club the last few seasons. I believe there's some other players as well. I mean, if you look at the club info, they've got 14 youth facilities who've been providing some absolute bangers. I mean, there's even a lot of 4.5 stars in here as well. So keep your eye out for them. In the second team, there's also Mohamed Shamite. Again, looks fantastic. He's now been loaned out to VAFC to see what he can do for this upcoming season. So it's going to be interesting to see where we finish this season. 4th place last year, a bit of a drop off in the league, but it's now just the Champions League, Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France. Can we do better in the Champions League? I'd like to get into the playoffs for it, and the Ligue 1, I'd like to get closer to PSG. So let's see the Moneyball approach. Can it get us there? Another very, very good season, and Brian Brobby had a fantastic one himself as well. 7.15 average rating, 26 goals in Ligue 1. Angel Alcaron as well, a player we signed just a couple of years ago now, has now got a value of £4 million. But a very good season, 12 assists, 7 goals for him. Logan Costa, again, 7.11. Tito, 7.06 again. Has he got a cap for Spain yet? He's not. They're not looking at him, and I don't know why. He's fantastic. We love Tito. 7.06 for him. And Chaibi again, 7.04, very, very impressive. Satalo, 6.91. Mohamed Bel Ramadani, 6.98. Relvas, 6.99 as well. So more good player ratings. And again, we've come third in the league. We were knocked out in the league phase again, sadly, down in 33rd. So it's not working out as well as I hoped it might do. We were very, very consistent this year in Ligue 1. I mean, we never really dropped below third. We did for a tiny bit and dropped to fourth, but back into third we went. Lille with us as well. I mean, the fact that we're still qualifying for the Champions League year after year is very, very impressive. I want to get that Coupe de France trophy. That's what I'm aiming for the last season. I mean, we aren't going to get Ligue 1 and PSG. They're a bit too good. I mean, they've still got Mbappe. They have still got Mbappe. I mean, we can't compete. The Moneyball can get you so far, but when it's Nonto, Mbappe, Soler, Kefren Turam, Elton Alvarez, Pellegrini, Fran Garcia, Kimpembe, Marquinhos, Kaminsky, Donnarumma, I mean, Navas, Lloyd Kelly, Gerson, Zubimendi, Renato Sanchez, Schick, Neymar, Grealish, Van der Berg. When you're competing with this, it's a little bit difficult, isn't it? Hakimi's still there as well, so we'll see if we can get second for season number 5. We've got some more money, £18 million. We've got some good youth players coming through as well. Juan Carlos Cabello doing very well through the academy. Mohamed Trafite as well. And there's a few boys that have come up as well in terms of the first team. If I just sort this by potential, you've got Shamite is now in at striker, is now on the bench. You've got John Kep, you've got Kunan, you've got Lea Sonado, who I don't believe I actually showed you us signing him. Where was he? Where was Marcos? He was a free contract. Maybe that was in January or after I did the save. I may have bugged up the save a little bit. He's been in as well. He played 19 games last season for us. He's 18 years of age and he's fantastic. I mean, just to show you, we did actually end up signing this. There's 2 signings I haven't shown you. Oh, the save. I didn't save it correctly. Lea Sonado is, maybe it was just before July. Lea Sonado is in as well, a free contract from Cartaxo, I believe a second tier like Benfica club. He looks very, very good. A value of like 50 million already. I mean, I don't know how. He looks fantastic though. Absolutely brilliant. And Cabello as well was coming in. Another very good youngster. And that is the guy we just saw. He was from Sinisa in the second tier of, well, the 4th or 5th tier of Spanish football. Very good season for us in the lower leagues of France. So we'll see what they can do. We're doing well. We're getting there. £17 million. Season 5. We need to now break in to the top 2 and we need to hopefully win a bit of trophy as well. That'd be fantastic. Well, to not waste too much time, I'm not going to go through the transfers as in depth. I'll go through them in just a second. I wanted to show you the achievement. We have been in the top 3 all season, 1 point behind Marseille, but you can see the important thing. The Coupe de France, a 1-0 victory against PSG, and it was Fares Chaibi as well. The last goal we score in this sim is Chaibi to lift a trophy. The man has come through basically the Toulouse Academy. I'm sorry, he basically has, and he has delivered a trophy for us. 14 goals and 5 assists this season. I mean, if we quickly go through the squad, you've got Soriano, Satalo, Costa, Relvas. Vladimir Miletic is a DM we have signed from Vojvodina in Serbia. 2 back-to-back over 7.2 ratings. So he come in for £1 million. Not a great season for him, to be honest. Alex Denteles is another player that was signed, left wing back from Almeria. We love Spanish football. We are decent for us this season on 6.79. Tito, still in the team. Of course he is. No caps for Spain. Get this man caps for Spain. That is your goal. I'm setting it for you now. Chaibi, very well. Ramadani, very well. Amdouni, very well. Brobby, very well. Nwosu is now on the bench. Kurtzay, Tabzi, Gayton Bakush, I believe is a player we signed, or he's through the academy maybe. He is here. Belmonte, Joseph Akinyemi is a player that absolutely failed. I found someone from Nigeria that I thought was fantastic. From the Wiki Tourists, he wasn't very good. John-Luc Concan is here. Lea Sonado is here as well, and he looks outrageous. Get this guy in the team and get using him. Skyter, Alcaron, Shimite, John Kep. Finances-wise as well, you're absolutely breaded. You've got nearly £100 million. Transfer budget, you've got £35 million. Round of 16 in the Champions League by Arsenal, so we did manage to get through the knockout playoff round. We beat Benfica 6-4 on aggregate. League phase, we come in 14th as well. Above Man City, who, I mean, we're better than City. We're better than Haaland FC. So, fair play to us there. In the final as well, Arsenal got all the way there and lost the penalties to Bayern Munich, which is heartbreak for them. We've lifted the trophy for Toulouse using the Moneyball approach. We're now an established Champions League side. We're big in Ligue 1 as well. And what can you guys do from this point? This save is available for you to download in the Discord file. Are you going to carry on the Moneyball approach, or are you going to go out there and spend big? Let me know if you do end up downloading it and how you get on. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow on all the things, subscribe to Sortitoutsi as well, and I'll speak to you next time.